right, here with Larry Snyder to talk tea, right?
Yeah.
Welcome in, Larry.
Well, how are you today?
Good, good, good. How are you doing?
Good. If I swat, the bugs are out tonight. So
Okay,
I
okay.
thought I'd
You
sit outside. The air conditioner's running inside. It's a lot louder inside. So,
well, that looks like you got a nice place to sit and enjoy a little bit of sunshine too, so that's great. My name is Dr. Jen. Anybody who's listening in today, my name is Dr. Jen. I'm a pharmacist and diabetic educator, and I come here to educate about nutrition, metabolism, blood sugar, all the things. My friend Larry here is someone who's been on a health journey with me for quite a while now, right? We've been doing this for over 2 years. And we came on here today to talk a little bit about Larry, honestly, Larry, because you have been through a lot. Like you and I want you to share your story a little bit and just tell us a little bit about where you were a few years ago before we met.
okay. First of all, uh, I've been in the tire business most of my life and do a lot of heavy lifting, so forth, like that throughout my career. But, um, but most of my life, I've been overweight and, and dealing with all the weight, all the issues called heart issues, which led to a heart transplant, and then recovered from that. And after the heart transplant, I had a rare blood disorder that involved me going to the cancer center every month and monitoring my blood. And I started this system. I'm actually finishing up my 28th month right now
Wow.
on the Unicity Feel Great system.
Hmm.
And little did I know that after starting this, my red blood cells was actually feeding off the carbs and sugars I was eating. So,
Crazy, isn't it?
yeah, so once we figured out what the issue was there,
Hmm.
we was able to put that in remission, and it's been in remission now for over 2 years.
That's incredible. I'm going to pull up your picture here and let's see. I think, oh, yeah, we do have your hemoglobin right there. So when
Yeah,
we met, you were struggling with really high hemoglobin, which basically meant you were a very high risk for a blood clot. You were on antiplatelet medication and you were having to go to a hematologist and you were having to go in and get, what was it, 500 milliliters, half a liter?
yes. And might as well
Half,
say a giant bag of blood every month. My
yeah,
blood was so black, it looked like used engine oil.
that's
If anyone
crazy.
can relate to that. So,
Wow. So every single month you would have to make the trek, right? To go get your blood drawn. And it wasn't, like a blood donation. It wasn't like blood that you were able to donate or give to somebody. I mean, this was just excess that they had to remove from your body so that you could survive. And which is just crazy and incredible. And within 2 years of going on, or 2 months, I'm sorry, 2 months, am I correct? Of going on a lifestyle change?
actually, it was 40 days in.
40 days?
Yeah.
Okay, so within 40 days of making a lifestyle change, literally simply starting some tea and fiber, his hemoglobin went into range. Now, I can only imagine when you went to the doctor what they had to say.
The funny thing was, 4 years prior, when I started, I asked what I could do naturally to reverse it, and they said, "Oh, nothing. Your body's making too many red blood cells."
And it is what it is. Here's an oncologist, here's a hematologist, here's a team of specialists to help you manage your condition. You're going to go in every single month and have to have blood drawn. You're going to be on antiplatelets for the rest of your life, and it is what it is. And I think also often that's what people face when they go to the doctor. There's a condition, they're not even sure exactly what the root cause of what is going on that is causing the problem. And it turned out with some dietary changes and substantial, I mean, obviously you didn't lose 98 pounds in 2 months, right? Or in 40 days, but you did have some weight loss. You did start making some dietary changes. And with that, your hemoglobin just went into a remission state, into the normal range. It's absolutely incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And we're talking about the condition polycythemia. It's relatively rare, um, not a super popular condition, but at the same time, not something the doctors usually talk about being reversible, or like you said, how to make the dietary changes to make it go into remission. Now, Larry, when you first started with us, and when you saw me on social media talking about tea and fiber and it helping people with their blood sugar and their cholesterol and their blood pressure, what did you think? Did you think this was like kind of a shot in the dark? Like, I mean, did you really think it was going to work?
I tell you, I was, of course, the world's so full of scams. I was skeptical, and I watched this for I know 2 or 3 months before
Hmm.
I decided to order. But one day, somebody had made a comment that they reversed the disease that I had. So that's when I took the leap of faith and thought, what have I got to lose? So
Yeah, why not, right?
I immediately sent the link to my heart transplant team
Hmm.
and had them to approve it.
Okay.
And once they approved it, and of course I started it right away. But and then it was odd because I was scheduled at the cancer center every month for blood draws. Okay,
Hmm.
I saw my hematologist in January. Well, I wasn't scheduled to meet with her again until June.
Okay.
So when she came in for the June visit, the first words out of her mouth are, "What are you doing differently?"
Oh, yeah.
And at that point, I had the packages in my pocket and I pulled them out. And she says,
Hmm.
"What's this?" I said, "Well, you can look it up. It's listed in your PDR." And she takes it, pulled it up, and there it is. So, and she never even know it. She never knew that it existed.
I don't think most medical professionals don't, because it's a supplement. And let's be honest, there's thousands of supplements out there, right? I mean, there's so many things. A doctor is not going to be proficient in all of them. And honestly, the physicians do not go through school to learn about supplements and to focus on nutrition. Their focus is on prescriptions and what they can do to help a condition with that. So, I've met now that I've been doing this and talking about health and wellness, I've met several physicians who are all on board, physicians and pharmacists like myself and nurses who are all talking about the wonderful benefits of what this is doing. And I mean, it's been an incredible journey for me myself. I've lost 30 pounds, started putting on muscle mass. Here I am. I just came right from the gym. I'm 71 hours into a time-based eating period. I am just now breaking my time-based eating with some bone broth. So I'll be sipping on this over the next hour. And that at that 72-hour mark, I'm going for steak, Larry. That's what I want. A steak and a beautiful salad with chicken and avocado and a beautiful vinaigrette. And that is what I'm doing, to enjoy my first meal. Now, do you have to do long extended fastings? No. What we do, or what you want to tell people what you started out with, like how you started in doing time-based eating and what it entails, because it's honestly just pushing back one meal.
Of course, when I first started, I was, still had a lot of food noise, of course.
Hmm.
And but I did notice right away that the added energy that I had,
Yeah.
the food cravings were starting to lift even within the first day of starting. And probably after 3 months, the 90-day mark, it was kind of like it just flipped a switch. And I was able to even extend those fasts out further to 18 to 24 hours at a time.
Wow.
It got easier. And
Hmm.
then it seemed like at that point, my energy level came up. Uh, just my mood changed, and I was thinking more clearly. And, it's been an incredible journey. And, we just, even something as simple as being able to bend over and tie your shoes. without strain or raise it up without being out of breath. All
It's the
those are,
non-scale. It's the
yeah,
non-scale victories that are really the most exciting. Like the smaller belt, the smaller pant size, even though, the pounds, of course, are exciting as well. But all the little things that you can do, having more energy, not being as winded, all of those things. We see so many people getting off their CPAP machines, no longer have to walk around with an oxygen tank, no longer walking with a cane. Like these are huge, huge changes.
I know most people can't not relate to wearing a CPAP, but they're the most aggravating thing ever.
Yeah.
They never seal off correctly. They wake you up blowing air. They're just a nightmare. And to live without that now, oh my God, it's incredible. And I was kind of afraid that when I first started doing without it, my
Yeah.
energy level wouldn't be as good. It's better because I'm not being interrupted in sleep now. I sleep, for 6, 7 hours uninterrupted sleep.
Yes, and that's a game changer too.
Yeah.
That was another big victory for myself because I was going through I was thrown into early menopause because I was so addicted to sugar and carbohydrates and eating them nonstop. Because of that, I had found myself in an insulin resistant state. And if you don't know what insulin resistance is, it's basically a condition that occurs because you're eating too much too often. And because of that, you're spiking your blood sugar throughout the day, every 2 to 3 hours with snacks, with meals, and your insulin levels are constantly staying high. And causes the cells to become resistant to the hormone insulin over time. And that's where we get the exhaustion. That's where we get the metabolic inflexibility. It's where we start getting our blood sugar starting to creep up. We get a lot of inflammation. And overall, we just feel like junk. And one of the biggest issues for women is, and this doesn't relate to you, but for me, with the lessening of estrogen is going through menopause, you compound that on insulin resistance, and it's no sleep, no energy, constant brain fog. It's double the disaster. And so when I found this, within the first few weeks, sleeping through the night, energy up for the first time in months, months. And if that's all it would have fixed was taking down a little inflammation and helping me sleep through the night, I'd have been a happy girl. I'd have been excited. I'd have been all over it and staying on it. But then I got off omeprazole that I was on for over 15 years for my gut health, for my reflux, for all of the gut issues that I had. Then I started weaning off my blood pressure medication, which I'd been on for 20 years, two prescriptions for 20 years. And for me, that was just an absolute game changer. To get off the medication, the pounds started leaving. So pretty soon I was down 30 pounds. And it was just a game changer. It was absolute game changer. So you jumped into this skeptical, but you heard someone else saying with the same condition, hey, I have polycythemia. I no longer do. So you jumped all in, started seeing results right away. So 40 days in, I'm going to pull up a picture here. 40 days in, who reached out to you and said, dear, what are we doing?
I think Connie was actually my first text message that I didn't have to have blood drawn. And you were probably my second
I
saying,
love it.
hey, my hemoglobin is normal.
I love it. I love it. So what'd she say? She was like, how did that happen?
Yeah. And, I go back again April 14th, May 14th, June 23rd. All these dates are still in my chart. I can see those.
Yeah.
And even up as far as last October, when I met with the transplant team, all the labs were perfect. Triglycerides have come down, cholesterol is perfect.
I
And
love it.
who would have thought eating meat and eggs, adding a fiber supplement, and prioritizing protein, and putting carbs last would change your life?
Yeah, because literally you started out, you added the tea, you drink the tea every morning for breakfast. We drink a second tea between lunch and dinner, keeps the cravings at bay. The tea first thing in the morning provides all the nutrition that you would get from eating vegetables for breakfast, but without the carbs and without a bunch of calories. And so it keeps us fuller, fills us with all these vitamins and nutrition, and we don't even have to eat breakfast. We're just not hungry, which is great. You also don't have the snacks mid-morning and afternoon because of the tea. So let's talk about snacks for a minute. Before the system, snacks were a big, big thing for you, right? You were spending a lot of money on that.
Absolutely. I would, like the rest of the world, stop and get breakfast sandwich. 2 to 3 hours later, I was crashing, looking for something else to eat those little Debbie snack cakes all day long. And then, I mean, I was a foodie. I was a food addict because I could eat something and 5 minutes later, I wouldn't remember what I ate 5 minutes ago. That's bad.
That's wild. That's wild. And
And
constantly hungry, basically,
yeah,
right? Because it
yeah,
was all
when
the
you
meals had
when
sugar
you
in them.
feed with carbs and sugars, you're constantly going to be hungry. You're going to constantly have those cravings. And the difference with this system here, like I told you, I'm complete in 28 months of all the diets and systems and everything I've been on in years past. I would have already stopped and reverted back and gained back the weight that I'd lost.
Yeah.
But now it's like a tool in the toolbox. This is the tool
Yes.
that I've used actually to make sure that I continue to be successful without issues.
And it's so simple. Did you
It's
have any
so-
issues with it when you first started it? I mean, it's simple. You take a packet, you mix it in water, you drink it. You can
No,
drink the tea
even
hot or
me,
cold.
I've always been caffeine sensitive, and
Hmm.
even the caffeine in this has never once given me an issue. Period.
Oh, that's amazing. And we're
Yeah.
not talking about high caffeine. So a cup of the tea is like a medium cup of coffee, which many people enjoy one or two of those a day. And it does have a decaf option now as well, which is nice. I personally love the caffeinated first thing in the morning for breakfast, and I usually have a decaf in the afternoon, sometimes late in the day, because it doesn't keep me up at night and it doesn't bother me at all. And for me, I feel like if I was like if when I first started this that first year, if I was going to have the cravings, it was later in the day. And so I dove into the decaf with that. Now that I've been doing this for as long as I have, I don't have cravings at all. And I mean, I technically have cravings, but I have cravings for eggs and steak and avocado. Like, here I am right now, just drinking the tea all day, every day for the last 3 days, doing a 72-hour time-based eating period with electrolytes, water, and tea. And I feel phenomenal. I feel absolutely great. And then thinking about what I want to break my fast with, like I'm getting so excited about breaking my fast here just in just a few minutes. I'm gonna have a steak. I've been thinking about it for 3 days. I'm gonna have a steak. I'm gonna have an avocado. I'm gonna have a boiled egg. I want to have a beautiful little side salad with some chicken on top and a little bit of splash of cheese and a beautiful vinaigrette. And I start thinking about that, and I think about who I was like 3, 4 years ago. Oh my gosh. If I'd gone 2 hours without a meal, I was wanting pizza, a burger, some French fries, a Starbucks latte. That's all I was thinking about. And now here I am thinking about all the beautiful things that I could put on my plate. It's all that's on my mind. All that's on my mind. Do you feel the same? Like you feel that same way?
Oh, absolutely. And you were asking about the savings a moment ago.
Yeah.
My copay at the cancer center was $100 per month.
Oh
My
wow.
copays on my medications for 3 different medications I'm offered. That was another $150. And I've always said I save $20 a day, but there's no doubt in my mind it's most likely more than that or double.
That's
Because
incredible.
the food noise has gone away. And honestly, a lot of people says I can't survive just eating one meal a day.
Hmm.
I go all day long, nonstop, 18 hours a day. I stop. I try to eat between 5 and 6 p.m. every night.
Hmm.
But that satisfies me, and I just eat a good portion. I don't overstuff myself,
Yeah.
and it works. It don't.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it is incredible. So, of course, I started this without Connie knowing about it.
That's my favorite part of the story, to be honest with you. That you didn't tell your wife, who watches you like a hawk, because she knows you've been through so many things with your health, and she wants to make sure that you don't put anything in your body that's not 110% what all your doctors are okay with and clear with. But she hopped on board, and look what happened to her
Now, the second photo you see there is 8 months later.
between those two
So,
photos. That's
wait a minute.
incredible.
So actually, it would be 9 months. It was, I started in February, and that photo was taken at Thanksgiving of 2024.
Incredible.
And I was 97 pounds down then. And actually, I over 110, 111 pounds total now. I went from a 38 waist to a size 30 waist,
Wow.
which for me is incredible because I think I passed 30 up. And I don't think I was ever 30 in my life.
Wow. That's incredible. So you carried that weight for a very long time.
Oh, yeah. My heaviest weight in my life was 330. Can you imagine weighing 185 pounds now?
That's incredible. I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, that's basically you lost a whole me,
Yeah.
Larry, off your body, which is just it's insane to think about all the pressure that came off your joints, all the inflammation that came down from carrying around that excess weight all that time. I think it's incredible the results that you guys have gotten. And I love that you guys, when you saw this, you embraced it and you went all in. And were one of the people who are like, okay, how simple is this? I drink tea in the morning, I drink tea in the afternoon, and I put fiber before my meals. And it's really that simple. The beautiful viscous fiber, it's got 7 different kinds of fiber in it. It's like eating a bowl of 7 different kinds of vegetables right before your meal. You consume it before the meal. It provides a little bit of fullness so you don't eat quite as big of a meal, but it also binds to the sugar and the carbs in the meal so you don't get this sugar spike and you don't get the sugar drop. You also release less insulin. This is how it reverses insulin resistance. Now, as well, it provides lots of vitamins and nutrients, just like eating vegetables. It lowers LDL cholesterol. We have studies from University of Sydney, Cleveland Clinic, all of the things all these wonderful independent studies that talk all about how incredible it is the tea and the fiber are together for your mood, for your cholesterol, for your blood pressure, for your blood sugar. We have studies behind all of these things. And it's just simple food based supplementation. It's simple to do. All you have to do is literally remember to mix it, right? And to carry the packets with you when you go. I know me and Mike will go to a restaurant and we'll take our packets with us and we'll mix it right there at the table and we'll drink it up. People are constantly asking us, "What are you doing?" And so we sit down there and have that conversation with them. And we've been very blessed to be able to help so many people make some amazing changes in their health. I know you have as well. Do you have any favorite stories of people you've helped along the way and what it's done for them?
They're all my favorites. But I think a couple of my favorites, of course, is Connie because she's such a different person.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
And
absolutely.
she was irritable and didn't feel good. And she would actually get outside her car. She had so much inflammation, like in her hip area and stuff. It was difficult for her to walk, even when she got
Wow.
into the car. All that has changed. All that's gone. And her energy levels are so much better. It's actually brought us closer together because of it. And, you know, other things is like my own sister. Could you imagine living with neuropathy in your feet and restless leg syndrome so bad when you wake up in the morning, you have sores on your legs from rubbing your legs together all night?
Oh, wow.
And it was just miserable. That went on. You've heard her story too. It went on for
Yeah.
years. And within 30 days, the neuropathy's gone, restless leg syndrome's gone,
It's
and
incredible.
and even our neighbor, mid-80s, walking with a cane, her knees hurt so bad she couldn't sleep at night. I mean, I could tell stories after stories after story. A good friend of mine messaged me this week. He went within 60 days. He took his A1C from a little over 8. I think he's at 6.3. And he was asking me, Larry, do you think I can get that below the into pre-diabetic level before I see my doctor next month? And I said, absolutely, you can. And
It's amazing.
I'll, I'll help you, and I'll share with you exactly what you need to do to get there. And a guy that I reached out to from Indianapolis, Eric, and
Hmm.
Eric has done phenomenal. And his A1C was at 11, but he refused to go on medication. And I sent him a message, didn't even know the guy online. And now he's in the system, and his A1C is coming down, and he's just like a different person.
It's
And
amazing.
you've
That's
read some
amazing.
of his stories. You see, he's
Oh,
like a
yeah.
different person already. So,
I think some of my favorites are um, the sweet older ladies who reach out and say, I was sleeping on my couch because I couldn't even walk up the stairs
yeah,
because my inflammation was so bad. My arthritis just hurt so bad that just going up and downstairs was just not a possibility for me. And within that first week of drinking tea, I'm walking up the stairs and I can sleep in my own bed again. Like, that's incredible.
and another thing that's a big win for me is people tell me, Larry, we trust you because of what you went through. And, with a heart transplant and blood disease, if it works for you, we know it'll work for us.
Yeah.
And that's very encouraging. And everyone's success story, as well as I've done, that motivates me even more.
Of course.
You
Yeah.
say, how much more motivated you can. But we're human too. And their success does motivate me. Look at the difference in Sandy and George and Ivy
Oh,
and
yeah.
Karen, and the list just goes on and on and on.
People putting bowel issues in remission, people putting thyroid issues in remission. We talk about Steve and his wife, Robin. Robin just got back from her checkup. All her labs are perfect. She's lost 140 pounds now with the system. And when we first met, she was struggling walking with a cane. She was just struggling walking on the maximum amount of pain medication, gabapentin. And now she's on no pain meds. That's
Um,
crazy, right?
with
140 pounds. I mean, that's a person plus.
that
It's
exercise.
without exercise because she can't do it. She was in a tragic accident. She's got pins. She's, being held together by metal. She doesn't have the ability and the mobility to go to the gym and lift the heavy weights and do the things that me and you can do if we want to do it, right? Like if we're motivated to do it. And then that's the next thing is we do tell people this beautiful tea is actually works great as a pre-workout. I was just at the gym working out, sipping on my tea. It increases oxygen to the muscle. It gives you more energy so that you can do more. So whether you're like me and you're on the machine going, or if it's you lifting tires and pushing tires around, right? You've got the energy to do it from the first start of the day when you get up in the morning until you put your head down at night. You're one of the busiest people I've ever met, Larry, to be honest. It's nice to see you relaxing a little bit on a Friday where
Yeah,
you're at, but you're on the go all the time.
but I can't. I just say enough about what this has done and how it's changed my life. And so many people around me, family, friends, and is it for everybody? No, it's not. But if you're tired of being miserable and you're looking for a lifestyle change
Yes.
and go to a new level, this is it. And one thing we've discussed before is, Connie and I are building a new house,
Hmm.
new home. But before I started this, there was so much uncertainty with the polycythemia, the blood disorders. I wasn't certain of the future of my health, or actually, what my wasn't wasn't confident enough to take a leap of faith to ever build on it. But this
Oh, wow.
has actually given me my life back and hers too. And this build, this house, as you know, is testing our faith and our patience.
Yeah.
But we keep we keep the faith that this is going to be done soon, and we'll get in and get our lives back to normal and get back on track. So,
Well, I am so glad that we met each other on social media, that you
yeah,
happened to show up on a day that someone with the exact same disease state as you was on there saying, "Hey, I used to have polycythemia and now I don't. This has been a game changer for me." And you took a leap of faith and you gave it a try. And now hundreds of other people have been affected and helped because you took that leap of faith. And so that's the butterfly effect, right? One person gets some help, one person changes their life, they share their story, and from there, it can help the lives of so many people. So if you're listening in today and you're struggling with blood pressure, blood sugar, your cholesterol, if you're struggling with weight, if you're struggling with polycythemia, you're struggling with neuropathy, with pain, if you have a chronic condition that is flared by food, flared by the food that you're eating in your body, or you're not sure if it is or not, have this conversation with me and Larry today. All right. We are more than welcome. We're on social media all the time, having the conversations with everybody, helping them get the steps in to move in the right direction with their health and wellness. And this is the simplest thing you'll ever do or you'll ever try. It comes with a 90-day money back guarantee, meaning you can try it for 90 days. And if it does not work for you, you can get all of your money back. But let me tell you, the reason they do it for 90 days is because they know that within 90 days, your belt notches are going to start coming in. Your blood sugar is going to start regulating itself. Your energy is going to be up, and you're going to want to just keep going. Keep going. So I see Joyce has commented on here. Larry has helped me change my life. I love that. I love that. And I love those comments. As a pharmacist for 20 years, I can count on one hand how many people have come up to me and say I've radically changed their life. And now with this system, hundreds. I've literally gotten hundreds of messages in the last 3 years for people who have said the words, "You've changed my life." And I know you have as well.
when we're younger, we don't realize even with the food, the directions we're headed for that downfall.
Exactly.
And with this system, this heads that off, and you're making you more proactive in your health. And when you stabilize your body and alter that change of course that we all simply think is genetic,
Yeah.
because I've lost family members to obesity and to diabetic amputations that ended up the infection taking over their bodies and then passing away.
Yes.
And them cannot truly understand what they're doing to themselves, as you say, with the ding dongs and the Doritos. They're killing them,
Yeah.
plain and
That's
simple.
sugar.
Yeah.
Sugar feeds cancer, sugar feeds disease, sugar feeds inflammation. Sugar is feeding that insulin level that is leading to insulin resistance and leading to metabolic diseases like the blood pressure, the cholesterol, and the blood sugar issues. And the list goes on. And it's our food. The modern food environment has changed. Over the last 50 to 100 years, it has slowly evolved. We now have cotton candy grapes at the grocery store. Strawberries that used to be teeny tiny are now huge. I mean, we can tell our food has changed. 70% of the grocery store is carbohydrates, and people are going through the convenience drive through 24/7, buying the junk instead of making food at home. And I think that's one of the best things about the system too, is because you're not craving, you're not ravenous all the time. It's a lot easier to drive past the drive-through and take the time at home to make the meals that you know that you need to eat. And as your gut heals from both the fasting and the fiber, you really honestly start craving better food. And so now not only do you feel like you have the time, right? That you have the time to make those meals. You have the energy to make those meals. You're not ravenous craving. So you're not just sticking junk in your mouth the minute you walk in the door. You have the patience to sit and make that meal and sit down and have a nice meal with your family. And it's an absolute game changer. It really, truly is. I know it's changed my life. I know it's changed yours. So before we head out, I want to make sure that we end this on the right foot. So if there is one person out there that's listening today that is struggling with a chronic disease state, with their metabolism, with any of those things, and they've tried a million supplements and they've tried a million diets and they've done the gym and they've done this and they've done that, but their weight goes up and goes down and goes all over the place. And so they're listening in right now and they're like, oh, good, one more thing that's not going to work for me.
This could even pertain to kidney failure, even acid reflux. Of course, you know about that. Yet people think that they're going to live with the rest of their lives, right?
Yeah.
Where does that stem from? You want to tell them where it stems from? Our gut, right?
Yeah. Our gut health is essential. And time-based eating is been around forever. Our bodies were made to do this. They were made to eat a meal, a nice large meal, and live off of the energy for that meal for days. And our biology hasn't changed, just our food has. Now we're not hunting for our food. We're not, digging in the dirt to look for food. We just have drive-throughs. We have convenience food everywhere we go. And it's highly addictive. And it's so easy to fall into that environment. It's really not our fault that we get addicted to the modern food environment. It's been made to tempt us, it's been made to keep us hooked, right? The extra sugar that they put in bread, even the extra salt they add to the chips, the sugar they add to our drinks, right? The extra fat they add so that you just crave more and more and more. And it's crazy. But you can put so many disease states in remission with good food. Fasting, good food, our supplements just make it easier.
So if everyone would just understand that with giving your body time to recover with the time-based eating and no snacking in between, that's how we heal our gut with the proper food.
Yes. Cut the
But,
snacks,
yeah,
cut the snacks, learn how to eat big, fulfilling meals, right? And then we use the tea to cut the cravings. We use the fiber to keep that blood sugar low and slow. And this has been a game changer for diabetics and their blood sugar. It's been a game changer for the pre-diabetics to avoid type 2 diabetes. And it's been a game changer for people like me and you who weren't in a diabetic state, but we were eating like a diabetic shouldn't, and we were headed in the wrong direction.
exactly.
Exactly. And we would have gotten there eventually. I guarantee it. I have two uncles that have had amputations from type 2 diabetes. My grandfather, when he passed, he was suffering from neuropathy and suffering from pain from type 2 diabetes. And I think most of us have family or friends who are suffering with this disease, and the numbers of diabetics just keeps going up because the modern food environment is not changing. We have to make the change. We have to choose what we're putting in our bodies, and we have to make that choice ourselves. So, anything else you want to say before we head out for the night?
Yeah, keep everyone be more conscious of the food label.
Absolutely.
And like Dr. Bigman says, if it's in a plastic bag or cardboard box or it's got a barcode on it, we need to be aware of what's in that
Yes,
because that is the type of food that is destroying our body.
exactly.
I love him, and we both gained a lot of knowledge from watching him too. And
Absolutely.
it seemed like when we think we've learned everything, there's more to learn, isn't
Absolutely. Hey, that's the
it?
spice of life. Constantly learning. That's what I try to do. Constantly be learning new things
So
and
I
to
think that's
pivot.
what makes us more successful and realize what we're doing. And by learning more, we can help. others by knowing, having more knowledge too. I don't have near the
Absolutely.
knowledge you do, but I'm learning more each day. And at this point, my body's not perfect. I'm not a Arnold Schwarzenegger or Luke Rigno, but I'm getting there slowly. My body's still transitioning, and I am getting stronger because I do eat good portions of protein daily.
Hmm.
I can tell that I'm stronger than I have been in years.
That's incredible. That's incredible for you to say as you're aging, you're literally putting on muscle mass because most people, like I
Lose
said, eating
muscle
for
mass. Yeah,
convenience, not getting the exercise that they need, and they're just watching sarcopenia happen. They're watching their muscles waste away. Even starting at age 35, you start losing muscle mass. And for you now, over the age of 50, right? Putting on muscle mass, that's essential. That's your longevity organ. Your muscle is what burns the sugar for you. Your muscle is what determines, honestly, how long you're going to live.
right.
Yeah, it's incredible. So we've both learned so much. If you guys have questions, anyone listening in, please put questions in the comments for me, for Larry. Reach out to Larry, have the conversation, ask about polycythemia, ask about what it's like post heart transplant and all of the medications he's been on and the changes he's been able to make with simple supplementation. It really is so simple. It's so simple, it doesn't think, so many people think, hey, this is just, there's no way this is going to work. But it really, truly does help your gut health. And it really, truly does change those cravings, cut down the amount, increases that GLP hormone. So it decreases the amount of hunger that you have in your life and allows you to make some amazing, amazing changes. So, between the next time we see you again, I want everyone to know that we are on a mission. Larry and I are on a mission, as well as our entire team. We have an entire team of people now on a mission to get good nutrition in people's lives. So we ask that you try to be powerfully present in your own health and wellness. Don't just sit in the back of the corner at the doctor's office and let them write scripts all day long. Nothing wrong with prescriptions, they save lives. But when we lean on just prescriptions and we're not making the lifestyle changes, we stay stuck in the rut and the cycle of being on excessive amounts of medication for the rest of our lives. So choose to be powerfully present in your health and wellness because truly nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to knock that donut out of your hand and nobody's going to take the Doritos out of your grocery cart. Trust me, nobody did it for me. Larry had Connie, so she might have done that just a little bit.
One
But
other thing, this
yeah.
does this does take the dread away from the doctor visits too.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely.
Being beat
Abs-
up or all your levels being off, and you're overweight, and the scales are out of whack. And now I walk into the doctor without that dread. That's one less thing to stress over, right? So,
oh, absolutely. Your labs, I can't tell you how many people stress over the labs, bring their labs into the pharmacy and say, Jen, oh my gosh, what's going on here? I see a lot of red flags, right? The big red triangle on your labs. I don't have that anymore. I know you don't. Your A1C is incredible. All your lab numbers are incredible. And that's
yeah.
what we
By the
wish
way,
for everybody else.
I'm proud of my A1C at 4.5. So,
A 4.5
yeah,
A1C. That's amazing. That's like an 850 credit score. That's worth bragging about,
yeah,
Larry.
it is.
I absolutely love that for you. So if you guys have questions for me and Larry, please put something in the comments. Please share this with anyone that you know that is struggling with some health conditions and needs to make some change. We're hoping to inspire as many people as we possibly can to just start paying attention to those labels, look at sugar, and give simple supplementation a real try. Okay?
And if they got a question about any item, they're welcome to message us.
Yes, absolutely. So this is going to be on Larry's page. Go ahead and message him, message me, get us in a three-way chat even, and let's have the conversation about how to start getting you healthy. All right, everyone, have an absolutely wonderful evening. Larry, enjoy the great outdoors.
Thank you, and thank you for helping me help others. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for joining us tonight. Everybody have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you again on the socials.